All right, guys, we're pretty close here to wrapping this up, or more correctly, handing it over to you. So when we get this code to fully function, our next steps are giving you guys the freedom to make amazing things happen with this Scratch Maze game. And that's really where we want all of this to go. We could keep talking to you about how to do this or how to do that, but what we really want is to have a basic game that you guys can take and make incredibly amazing things happen, right? And level after level after level after level, or introduce new characters, introduce new features, introduce new Easter eggs. All that kind of stuff is the incredibly amazing stuff that we want to see you do. Before we do that, we needed to make it so that we can get to our last step. So right now, if we flag, we get to our start screen, click start. Here we are in the maze. We know right now that our player touches that gold sprite and gets to the second level, and we've made it so that it works in that second level. But we did notice we get to that gold sprite in the second level, nothing really happens. Our variable goes to level 2, but nothing else happens in our game. Here's where we're going to make it so that when we get to that level 2, we get to our end screen, or our finish screen. So how do we do that? Again, the same thing that you probably think we do that with, another if-then statement. So we'll put one more if-then statement in this giant block of code for our player sprite. That if statement is going to have another operator that we're probably familiar with. We're again going to use that equals to operator. And again, we're going to put our level variable in that circle. This time, instead of 50 or 1, we're going to make it so that that variable is equal to 2. When it's equal to 2, what do we want to happen? I'm going to flag so it's not equal to 2. When we equal 2, the simple thing we want to happen is we want to switch our backdrop to end. Now that should have the effect of changing all of our other sprites, all those other things, away from the things they were. I'm also, if you're thinking, Mr. Emerson's craft, he's not just going to do that. You're right. I'm also going to bring in a motion block and just a go to XY. Doesn't seem to make sense, but I don't want my variable to hammer. And sometimes things like that can happen if we don't just change our variable away from where it is when we touch that sprite. So if I flag now, click start, and work through my maze incredibly carefully, and work through my second level carefully also, I get to my finish screen, and there's my restart button. Let's check and see if that works. Restart button works. You see levels back to 1. I click start. I start again on my maze level 1. I can even try solving it with my arrow keys. Hope I don't run into a wall. I'm a little nervous, if I'm honest, because I don't want to embarrass myself in front of all my kids. Here we go. Level 2. Little tougher. And I got back to my restart screen again. I can click restart again. I'm back to start. I want to do one more thing, and then the game becomes yours to make incredible. Here's that one other thing I want to do. This scorekeeper, this level, I don't really need to see that anymore. I know it's working and doing the things I need it to do, so I'm going to make that variable go away for now. Keep in mind, you can always bring it back if you want to add more levels and you want to track that as you're doing that. It's easy to bring back. So if I go to the variables tab and just deselect level, it'll make it go away. I want it to come back, reselect level, and now I can see it again. But again, for me, I don't want that as any kind of scoreboard or participation award or anything like that in my game. Right now is a great time to make sure that you do a file, save now. That way your project saves. And if you get that orange balloon, make sure you do that download so you still have your game. That's all we got for now, guys. Excited to see where you go from here. Again, save now.